What up, y'all? It's your boy, King Roster, and we back. We got our first full-fledged reaction video because I finally was able to get this shit updated. So we about to get into it. What it say basically is banking while black. Now, being a black person myself, let's see what they got to talk about.
Cast. Accused, handcuffed, humiliated. Tonight, 5 Investigate shows us what happened to a young black man in Columbia Heights who was trying to cash his paycheck. Lawyers and advocates.
So all he trying to do is cash a paycheck. From what it seems to me, it already seemed kind of like they think that he's scamming or something. But let's see.
Advocates say his experience is part of a national phenomenon known as banking while black. That man tells investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen he was racially profiled when a manager called police.
Hold up. Wouldn't be smoked out without a blunt, right? Let's get back in it.
Police minutes after he walked into a U.S. bank branch last year. This is a story you will only see on Nightcast.
That man, Joe Morrow, spoke with us in detail about what happened. U.S. Bank, however, would not go on camera. It's settled with Morrow after we started asking questions, but we were still able to obtain police body camera video of that incident that the bank does not want you to see. When police got the call to a busy U.S. Bank branch in Columbia Heights last year, a call for a fraudulent check and a suspect posing a threat.
How's it going? So like I said from the beginning, it sounded like they was going to try to say that he was up there trying to scam, credit card fraud or something like that. And the first thing that they say is that it's somebody that's being aggressive, so they call the police. We got Sergeant Justin Pletcher on the scene.
This is how they found 23-year-old Mississippi native Joe Morrow sitting in a chair in the bank manager's office, leaning back with his hands folded. Police blurred out branch manager John Asquith, as state law requires, because he did not want us to see or hear him in the video. Morrow wanted everyone to know what happened.
I just got through working like 12 hours, I think.
His job at UNFI, a grocery supplier better known as Super Value in Hopkins. Closer to home, Morrow stopped here at U.S. Bank in Columbia Heights to cash his paycheck for $900.
Man, if I got to go work for 12 hours, and when I get to the bank to cash my check, deposit my check, anything, and it results to the police, oh yeah, we about to get that discrimination charge popping. Discrimination.
Despite having an account, that simple transaction was anything but.
They was all looking at me and just staring at me. And then looking at the check and then staring at me again. I'm like, now I'm already knowing like what they thinking, the check fake. The manager, he came over and said, Joe Morrow, your check fake. And I said, what? He said, you people always coming in here with fake checks.
He said, you people. There must be a lot of young black people out there just writing fake checks. Like, this is what it really come down to. Y'all really think that every single black person and then you initiate the you people always come in here?
Thanks. Who do you think he meant?
Black people.
Morrow continued pleading his case with Police Sergeant Justin Pletcher in the room. Morrow's claim of racial profiling immediately met with this warning.
Joe, I need you to calm down, first of all, okay? Don't say anything stupid because you're just going to get arrested for it, all right?
Still sitting in the chair as the sergeant held his ID and his check, Morrow insisted it was the bank.
Was he talking to the young black dude or was he talking to the manager? Because if he was talking to the young black dude about himself being able to talk, and if he talked, that mean that he gonna be arrested for something, for saying something. That just sounds crazy. Whatever happened to the First Amendment, man? First Amendment.
who owed him an explanation.
They called me in front of everybody talking about this a fake check. That ain't a fake check. I worked there.
We could confirm that.
2 minutes later,
What's it there?
Sure.
a second officer arrives and the bank manager asks police to take Morrow to an adjacent office.
The manager told the officer, like, can you get him out of my office? He might touch anything on my desk. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's when I got super mad. Like, what? I'm gonna touch something on your desk.
Joe,
That anger only visible for a second
Joe, let's go over there, man.
when he complies with officers' orders and stands up.
Okay, let's make it simple.
A split second, Morrow says he'll never forget.
All of this because of a check. This is why I tell people y'all shouldn't go to work anyway. All we doing is helping the system. They don't give a fuck about nobody but them.
And like definitely when I got handcuffed and stuff, everybody looking. Like when I'm coming out his office, I was handcuffed, so people looking.
How did that make you feel?
Like crazy, like I'm a criminal or something. Like I'm doing like something bad. Like I actually came here with a fake check.
In his report, the sergeant later wrote that Morrow flexed at John, the bank manager, in a threatening manner.
I didn't threaten him. I got up, like in the like like a mad.
Do you have anything on you that could hurt harmful to anyone?
Still handcuffed, Morrow offered more evidence of his innocence.
I got the check still. Neil said what day it started and all that, and how many hours I worked, all that. I could have came here and showed them that.
According to the police report, the bank manager said he'd received a lot of fraudulent checks using the UNFI logo. Morrow says the manager claimed he already called the company and confirmed the check was fake.
So who do we need to call?
So they called his, they didn't call his job. Come on, they called his job and they said the check was fake. I mean, it's a 10-minute video, so let's see. It might be fake for all we know. I don't know. Let's see.
But this body camera video shows the bank manager did not actually make that critical call until after Morrow
Told y'all, he didn't make that call.
was already in handcuffs.
So it's a real, the check number's real.
Morrow's employer confirmed the check was in fact real.
There's no question in my man if he'd been white.
See, this is where I'm going to draw the line at. Because everybody always got to draw something back to something to be about if he was white. This ain't about a white person. This is about a young black man who went through discrimination at this bank. It don't have nothing to do with white people. So when you start to try to bring white people and involve white people into it, don't get me wrong, it was white people that was talking to him about it. But when you start to just demonize, oh, well, if he was white, then it would have been a totally different thing. There's plenty of white people out here that do credit card fraud, check fraud, all type of fraud. Look at Joe Biden. But we ain't even gonna go there.
This would never happen.
5 Investigate showed the video to a community leader. Are you seeing that okay?
I am.
The founder of a nationally recognized implicit bias training program for police.
But this is Minnesota. This is not who we are.
And University of Minnesota professor Samuel Myers Jr. In 2015, he authored this study of discriminatory practices at banks in the Twin Cities, and he's focused on racial disparities in financial transactions for 35 years.
I wish I could say that this was abolition. I wish we could say that this was an outlier. But it happens a lot.
Myers, who is deaf,
So this is it here.
watched the
If somebody has any info on if this happens a lot, that black people get discriminated at banks as far as like cash and checks, please leave a comment below.
body camera video with us over Zoom with the assistance of captioning.
We as black people are aware that these things happen at banks, at grocery stores, at supermarkets. This is a classic example of instances where things escalated beyond what they needed to escalate to.
Okay, Joe, let's get these cuffs up.
But Morrow's ordeal did not end when the handcuffs came off.
So can I talk to you man to man real quick?
For more than 10 minutes, Morrow remained in this office.
They're making fake chests with that logo on it, right?
If you shop on Amazon,
What that gotta
you should
do
use
with-
this tool. It's a browser extension that automatically compares.
Sergeant Pletcher.
What is other people making fake checks with that logo got to do with him individually? It shouldn't be no 10-minute talk. It shouldn't be no, oh, let's do this. It should be, oh, we should be trying to help you because you're the victim in this situation, not trying to justify the reason why they lied. Because that's all the sergeant right here is doing. He's trying to justify why they lied about the fact that his check was real. They tried to say that they verified that it was fake with his job. And what ended up happening? The real information came out. The truth came out. So now, instead of you just going with the truth and helping the victim, you're justifying it.
Sure did most of the talking.
So what the branch manager has to do is call and make sure it's a good check. I need you to stay calm for that, okay? Because when you start acting like this, it makes you look even guilty.
No, I'm not guilty.
No, I know. I'm saying, but when you start getting upset and irate, it makes you look guilty.
Well, you're acting guilty. And so the question is, what is acting guilty? Tell me, what is acting guilty?
Let me just rewind that for y'all so y'all can take all of that in. This nigga is mad.
Well, you're acting guilty. And so the question is, what is acting guilty? Tell me, what?
Like, why did he come into the camera? Like that was gonna make them hear it even better.
What is acting guilty? I'm sorry, but this is who I am. You blame me here before creating the racism that he feels.
Don't do anything stupid.
It was another part of this exchange
Are you kidding?
that struck a nerve with Tyrone Terrell.
So play calm, play cool, and wait for you to be validated. Okay?
Oh my God.
The former director of the St. Paul Department of Human Rights and the president of the African American Leadership Council says the sergeant's choice of words matters.
Wait to be validated. That's 450 years of history of slavery. Do we got to still wait for white America?
I just want to know this. I always wondered this. How do you get the title of being a black community leader? How does that title come? Who elected you? Who said that you are a community leader? Like, do you write that down on your job application that you are a community leader? Like, this shit is fucking amazing to me.
America to validate us? Come on.
Columbia Heights police declined our request for an interview, but in a statement, Chief Lenny Austin said his department reviewed the incident and found the officers' actions were reasonable and they conducted themselves professionally.
And if you feel it's a racist thing, okay, handle it differently.
Sergeant Pletcher wouldn't go on the record with us, but still sent us links to network news programs.
If I'm not on the same side as my community, then I am failing them and I am failing this badge.
He was praised on national TV for how he handled a call involving a black health inspector 2 days after the death of George Floyd.
I think we need more police officers to speak up.
But Pletcher is not talking about this video that few have seen until now. There are going to be plenty of people, I imagine, who will say, this officer acted admirably. He spoke calmly. He told them to calm down.
Plenty of white people. I'm looking through the lens of a black man who dealt with too many of these cases.
Was the flinching, so-called flinching, visible in the video?
Well, I'll take you back to it. Lori Pradell is a professor at the University of South Florida.
The flinching? The flinching? The flinching? When did the flinching occur? Well, I can take you back to it.
Florida and the founder of the Fair and Impartial Policing Training Program.
I did not discern anything in the video that showed Mr. Morrow as being threatening. Maybe they saw things that I did not see, or maybe
they saw things I cannot see. Lady, if you don't see it with your own eyes, how you gonna tell them to tell you what they don't see? It ain't there because he was calm. Trust me, it could have been a lot worse when the officers walked in. The fact that he had his hands on his chest or on his, he was doing this, sitting back, leaning back, talking to the man. I don't feel that they should have never even handcuffed him. What was the reason of handcuffing him? What was the reason of doing any of it? What was the point of detaining him? Like, it's just so much that went wrong in this whole incident. The whole incident went wrong. The bank manager, the teller, the cops, shit, even the camera. Nah, but this is just a whole bad situation. I hope this nigga come out as a millionaire after this.
could be related to one of the implicit associations that's well documented in the research. And that research shows that many of us see more threat in people of color.
Friedel commended the sergeant for doing what she called a debrief with Morrow and advising him that he could file a complaint against the bank.
And this is very important in policing. You know, when you've had an interaction, sometimes it can be very tension reducing to sit down with the person and say, okay, this is what was going on.
But that tension still apparent a year later.
No, I'm a little nervous with the cameras, but yeah.
When Morrow sat down with us for this interview.
You know he feeling good. My boy out here in the sandals with no socks. And it says 13 degrees out here.
By that time, his lawyer had sent 2 letters to U.S. Bank demanding a settlement and an explanation.
They've never taken any accountability. They've never truly apologized to Mr. Morrow.
In October, U.S. Bank declined our request.
Apologize. They justified the reason why they did what they did. And what they did was wrong.
To interview manager Asquith or anyone else with the bank, and instead sent us this statement saying U.S. Bank is committed to fairness toward everyone we serve, regardless of race, adding,
well, that's it for this video. If y'all can tell me what y'all feel about it, y'all can tell me how y'all feel. Leave a comment below, like, share, hit that notification bell. Until next time, stay smoked out.